Let's talk about Jessica Valenti, who is much progressive, such wow. And she's talking about the war where women fought against catcalling. It was a devastating battle on the streets of Britain, and it happened in 2014. Many victims, many deaths. However, women, led by the brave Jessica Valenti, managed to win. They managed to crush the patriarchy and they scored a great victory to the point that there were no more catcallings for a year. And then after they won the war, they realized that maybe we slaughtered the wrong pig. Maybe this wasn't a battle that we need to fight, because you see Jessica Valenti saying that she doesn't get catcalled anymore, and she actually misses it. She misses it because she realized that she gets old. Her tits are saggy, but they're still beautiful, god damn it. They're still beautiful, saggy tits, they're still beautiful, but men don't catcall her anymore. And when people pointed out that, some thought that maybe this is a little bit of a hypocrisy, from the woman who spearheaded the battle against this horrible misogyny, she decided to change the title. And said it like, one perk of older age, fewer catcalls. You see, she is willing to change. She is willing to handle criticism, take it like a real woman, and change when she is in the wrong. Good for her. She also champions feminism. She fights for all women, but just like I'm fucking better than you, Young Turks, Anna Kasparian, it's not all women. Right? So they decide, this is what's really nice when you have an ideology that represents, doesn't matter. Insert everything here, an ideology that represents black people, ideology that represents women, ideology that represents the worker, ideology that represents white people, doesn't matter. What's funny about this ideology is that then they decide which are the actual women that need protection, which are the actual black people that need protection, which are the actual white men that need protection. Because they wouldn't protect a white man that goes on the streets of and champions Antifa and communists. That's not really a white man, right? So it's the same here. In the case of Ivanka Trump, then she doesn't need protection. She's a strong, independent woman. But in the case of Jessica Valenti getting harassed on the street, catcalled, look at this gentleman. Horrible, isn't it, right? This is what I appreciate about Jessica Valenti the most. The standards, the golden standards and strong principles that she has. Without her, women would be raped everywhere and misogyny would be rampant. It would be almost like Saudi Arabia, but with white people. And that's horrible, right? So she wrote an article. #MeToo named the victims. Now let's list the perpetrators. And she's talking about the Hollywood scandal, right? The problem with the rapes that are going on in Hollywood right now, that for some reason, when certain celebrities speak up against them, they get banned from the Twitter. Now, of course, they got banned from the Twitter for doxing, but there is this tweet called Get Racists Fired. And they dox all day, and no one has banned them since. I think they've been going on for years, constantly doxing people, but the Twitter doesn't really care about that, right? So doxing racists is good, I guess. Doxing rape accusers, should we call them like that? That's bad. And of course, the hashtag started, #MeToo. And certain individuals decided to push their ideology in order to go into gaming and something like that. Because, when you go to a gaming convention, it's like waves after waves of sperm. Like, I went next to a gaming convention and it was like a wave of jizz and a woman was just pushed up against the window. Her tits being pressed up as she was moaning because she was getting raped. Like, you can't find more rape than at a gaming convention. It's worse than the Congo, right? It is absolutely horrible. And this is why they need feminism. You only need to put feminists who have absolutely nothing to do with gaming in the position of dictating how the community should behave and make laws and rules. For instance, Riot Game shouldn't have sexy characters because women get raped every time Riot Game releases a new sexy character. And problem would be solved. Right? Problem would be solved. The only thing that doesn't need feminism is feminism itself, right? I mean, we know that there is a huge epidemic with male feminists either being accused or raping women. But for a feminist, being accused is the same as raping, right? Because you need to listen and believe to the victim. If you don't, it's victim blaming. So, Sargon of Akkad, my good friend, has tried for, I believe, 2 months now to release a video about male feminists raping women. And he is unable to do so because every single week there are at least 2 or 3 more cases that are coming up. And we're not talking about statistics here, right? We're not talking about someone that would get the... No, it's like people in the news that are feminists who manage to booger either a woman or a little boy. And it's happening so frequent that even feminists like Steve Shives has spoken out against it, right? But I don't hear the advocacy for feminism within feminism, right? It's not teach male feminists not to rape. That's not a thing. And we're talking about male feminists here, right? Just so we're clear. But, right. So, another place that seems to be very progressive, like I don't know many places more progressives than Hollywood, turns out that there's a lot of rape over there. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that a little bit fascinating? Sweden, another country, feminist government, feminist everything, rape epidemic, and they're saying, oh, well, it's because our laws about rape are more laxed, and, well, other countries around Sweden have the same rape laws, and yet, just pointing it out, maybe, just maybe, the problem is feminism, you know? I bet they want to reduce the rape, but maybe the tactics that they're using increases the numbers of rape. For some mysterious reason. I just can't say why. I don't know. I'm not an expert. But what I'm saying is that when I look at something that doesn't have feminism, when they do have feminism, the number of rapes, rather than going down, they always go up. And you may say, well, maybe women, you know, now have the courage to stand up and talk about it. Right, okay, you know, I fully agree. But after like 5 or 6 years of feminism, shouldn't the rape start going down? You know, maybe the first year the women had the courage to come out, but after that, you would think, but no, apparently not. Campus universities. Almost completely overrun by feminists. Like, the feminists apparently can even summon muscles there. Melissa Click, can I have some muscles over here, please? And they materialize. The goons just materialize, right? Apparently, even there, the rape is worse than the Congo. What is it? 1 out of 5. Okay, that's interesting. How much did it go down since feminism took over? Maybe, just maybe, feminism aren't the people to tackle rape. Maybe the police have a better track record. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just speculating here. What do I know, right? Because I need to have a vagina in order to have an opinion on this subject. Because obviously men can't be raped. Men don't have this problem. So look at this, right? This is an interesting comic. So Bob Smith groped my breasts at Jenner Con last month. Why are you trying to ruin Bob's reputation? I don't think this is actually something that's usually said. Usually people would go, oh, that's horrible. Did you try going to the police? Because the police has a better track record of finding out these people. If I would know for sure that Bob is a racist, what do you want me to do about it? Honestly, what? Like, if I would know for 100% certainty that my neighbor is a serial rapist, like, okay, I can have a word with him, but tomorrow he's still going to be out on the streets, won't he? So the only people that can do something about Bob, unless you're advocating for lynching, which I think is a little bit over the top, I think a crime should fit the punishment, shouldn't it? Is the police, who are going to go get Bob to trial. He is going to face a judge and a jury, and then he is going to be punished according to his crimes. So you telling me that Bob is a rapist, there's nothing I can do about it. The only thing that I can do is go with you to the police station so you can have a statement if you're afraid that being on the street, Bob might find you. This is not something reasonable. Is this apparently saying this is controversial? Saying this is politically incorrect. Online lynch mob. Like, why are you saying this online? Like, this is something else that I don't understand. allegedly, these women are scared, you see, right? They're afraid to go to the police. And don't get me wrong, it can happen. You know, maybe if it's an ex-boyfriend or someone that knows where they live and they're actually afraid of leaving their house, that's fine, right? That's fine. But why aren't they afraid of talking about it online? I'm just saying, you know, and what's even interesting is that you would at least say, okay, maybe they gone to the police and the police did nothing, so now they're outraged and they're trying to, you know, raise awareness. But they're not even doing that. Like most of the people saying that they got raped on the Twitter, because apparently the police filing report and Twitter are the same thing now. They're not even going to the police at all. Like at fucking all. They don't even consider going to the police. Like me saying, you know, I've been mugged. Like imagine this, right? I would come today on YouTube and say, you know what, I got mugged. And like what would my subscribers do? It's like, oh, that's horrible, V. And it's like, yeah, I know. What else? What well, obviously, what else is that we need more feminism, right? Because it certainly has a track record at lowering rapes, certainly has a track record at making sure that women don't get raped, by making sure that Riot doesn't release more sexy female characters, by making sure that gamers, when they play video games, don't call someone a cunt, because doing this clearly rapes women. Making a rape joke, I called the rape hotline today, and apparently they couldn't help. Oh my god, that's horrible. Why? Because they only help victims. Oh, see, now 5 women got raped because I said this joke. It's absolutely horrible, despicable, isn't it? And it's like, look at this. I need to hear his side of the story is actually something horrible. How dare you even say that, right? Now, for any other crime in the world, it is perfectly legitimate to hear their side of the story, right? If I say a black man stole my bike, everyone would say, okay, what's his name? Bob. Let's go to Bob and have a word with him. You know, maybe he didn't. Right? This would be the normal way that the human brain functions, right? So that the accuser has a right to defend himself. However, when it comes to rape, no. I got raped. By who? By Bob. Bob needs to go to jail. You know, and this is something that I don't understand. It's like when it was about the Cologne rape gangs, right? Where people said Muslims raped women en masse in Cologne on the New Year's. All of a sudden, it's like, wait, hold on. Maybe this is exaggerated. Maybe, aren't we supposed to listen and believe? Is this not the society that you want to live? Oh, now they're brown people. Oh, I see. Oh, my bad. Oh, how could I? How could I? Or if it's Hollywood, right? If it's Hollywood, again, another problem. Like, how can you say that Hollywood has a... No. Hollywood are progressives. They're feminists. Like, this is what pisses me off about collectivism. Every single time they do something in group, well, let's pretend it didn't happen. If you don't name names, you're irresponsible. You're responsible if he does it again. Isn't it true, though? Isn't it absolutely true that if I know that someone committed a crime and I refuse to name the person, it's basically on me? Now, don't get me wrong, you know, there might be certain exceptions. Like, for instance, if I don't have any single evidence of it, the person can sue me for slander, right? So, me simply naming the guy without any evidence, not only will it not stop the guy, but at the same time, it will, you know, have a lawsuit against me. So I kind of get that. But at the same time, like, after you got raped, if you didn't go to the police, or it doesn't matter the rape, let's talk about any crime. If I get mugged and I don't go to the police, the mugger can mug again, right? The criminal can do the crime again to other people. So yeah, you know, if you don't care, that's fine. But you can't say that you haven't been irresponsible by not doing your civic duty and declaring a crime when you have seen it. Doesn't matter if you're the victim or not. You obviously don't care about fixing the problem. You just want attention. Yes, because, you know, like, the idea that there are people who just want attention is fantastic. It doesn't exist. Like, this is just... Huh? Never happened, Mattress Girl. Oh my god, the Mattress Girl was just the most idiotic thing that I've seen. Of course, it has to come from America. Or Canada, you know, now I don't know which. It seems to be spreading. Holy shit, hope it doesn't get here. Uh, oh God, can we get back to talk about real problems now? Why on earth would a woman be afraid to report harassment? Yeah, this is like a question that's never explained. Like, again, if you're afraid, why are you posting about it on the Twitter? This is what I don't understand. Like, you going to the police and testifying actually guarantees you anonymity to a certain degree, right? Until it goes to trial, you are anonymous. If they go there and they find that the guy isn't a rapist, then the public won't know about this. It's going to be a little small. But when you go on the internet, the whole world knows about it. So how exactly are you saying that you're afraid? But what I like about this shit is that people are actually not buying this bullshit. Like, look, blaming women for not speaking out when they have no power does not encourage others to come forward. It suppresses them. No power to go to the police, but a lot of power to talk on Twitter. Yeah, sorry, that's not how the world works. Actually, that's exactly how the world works, pal. Listen, pal. Male feminism has a huge rape problem. Maybe you shouldn't be the one to talk. About rape. I mean, obviously, these people don't want women to go to the police. Because obviously, people like you don't want women to go to the police and have men from your circle arrested, you sick fuck. This is how you need to talk with these people. I am not willing to go easy on them anymore, because even if this guy didn't do anything, someone is actually going to see this male feminist rape problem, and they're going to go on Google and get fucking educated. I am so sick of listening to these people that are advocating for women not to get help, right? The only way, and this is like serious talk here, the only way for a woman to get help is to go to the police. There is no other way. Absolutely not. And these people aren't encouraging women to go to the police. They are encouraging women to go on the Twitter. And not to mention that this culture can actually create people who seek attention. Like, whenever you see a woman that comes out and like the media is storming and everyone is kissing her ass, even if she got raped or not, like before the trial even happens, before we even establish if the rape actually took place so that we can consider her a victim, she gets so much attention, right? And so much support. So of course this will encourage other people to stand up and say, oh, well, I got raped as well. Right? So again, the only acceptable way is to go to the police, period. Anything else is horseshit, and anything else is a cancer that you need to step on. And then, of course, these things that makes people feel empowered by, I guess, no means no, stop means no, turning up. Like, did it occur to you that criminals that are rapists, they know that you don't want to have sex with them, but they do it anyway? It's like, like someone who goes to rob a liquor store and pulls out a gun. It's like, sir, you're committing a criminal activity. Do you think if the store owner would tell them, like, look, I don't want you to rob me, and be like, oh, holy shit, oh yeah, you're right, I'm committing a crime, god damn it, if only I knew, good thing you told me, sir. Do you think it would help if women would carry a law book around their neck, with a chain and a small like criminal code that talks about, rape, and whenever they're getting raped, hold on, read this. See, you're not allowed to do it. And then the rapist would be like, oh, Ishai Allah, oh, do you think it would work? How stupid do you need? Like, honestly, these people have the mind of children. And the problem is that they don't think for themselves. They really don't, because only thinking about how ridiculous this notion is, teach men not to rape, is so ridiculous that it doesn't really work. Not only does it not work, it doesn't even do anything besides get the person to feel good. Because this is it, it's a power trip, right? You as a man go around to other men and it's like, I'm more superior than you, because see, I'm a feminine, I'm telling you not to make jokes, I'm telling you, I'm controlling the conversation now, but it doesn't really stop rapes. That's what it does. It makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you like feel that, yeah, I'm in control. I'm I'm telling my friends, I'm putting everyone in their place, and you're becoming an insufferable twat. And only other people who are insufferable twats will stand with you, other male feminists, I guess, and they don't even like each other. But this is why I think a lot of rapists turn out to be feminists, because I thought about it a lot. It's a good camouflage, right? No one will think to look for a rapist within male feminism, right? Because certainly he can't be a rapist, he's a male feminist. Like, well, are you insane? And it's not only that, I think it's also the type of ideology, the type that gives you control over people that normally you wouldn't have control. But now that you're a male feminist, you tell them what's acceptable to say in a conversation. Honestly, I'm really upset by this because, again, right, the problem, the reason I made this video, by the way, is that it's really annoying. Instead of talking about Hollywood, instead of discussing how time and time again, the most progressive places in the world turn out to be filled with rapists. Is this not something that is warranted at least a discussion? But instead, no. Instead, it's again, man's fault. It seems that it is, right? Men indeed do rape women, but for some reason, most of the men that are raping women are gender ideologues. Isn't this weird?